we are. It's live.
Jolly good.
Where are you sitting again?
I'm sitting here, just like this.
Oh, yeah.
Get the old
age tablet.
The old man's tablet going.
Okay, sounds good.
We are early though. We are premature.
That's where your kids.
That's true, actually.
Yep.
Yes.
Not a good. There we are. See.
Oh, there we are.
Just need some comments to come in now, so we see if it works.
Well, we could write a comment.
Homeless.
You could do a comment from your phone.
It's done. It's got subtitles.
Oh, that's true.
What's that?
I've no idea.
Oh, confusing stuff. Okay. You do the talking.
New comment. New comment. Comment.
Why are you doing that?
I don't know. Just doing something.
God, you are slow at typing.
I can't.
How long does it take to do a newsletter?
A long time.
Can you read that from there?
I can think. Yeah. So, Ben, while we wait for everyone
We put the barbecue together. No.
That was last week.
That was last week. Yeah.
So what have you done this week then? Tell people the things you've done this week.
I haven't done much. Have you done much? Honestly, it's just lockdown, isn't it? I think if you said that you'd done something, you'd be breaking the lockdown rules.
You've done studying?
Yeah, that's not much fun to say.
Okay. Anything? No fun stuff at all?
No comment.
Oh well, we should have rehearsed this bit then, shouldn't we?
We should have done, yeah. We did use the barbecue though.
We did use the barbecue.
And it did taste good.
We had an event on Saturday.
What, Saturday?
Yeah, see, already forgotten.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Already forgotten.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Old man. 60.
We have some people early as well. Welcome, Richard.
Dominic's back. Yeah.
Welcome, Kim. Welcome, Dominic. Good to. We can't see you, but good to read your comments, of course. So we're just waiting. We're going to waffle on for a few moments while we get to the 8:30 point in the proceedings, and we'll then see what we'll do. For those who are joining, this is Ben. He's my son. That's why we can be close.
No,
he's careful. Yeah, he's nervous. And I'm Rob, of course. So we're just gonna. Did you do the homework, by the way?
What homework?
Well, okay. See, you didn't do the homework. You'd have thought you'd have done the homework.
Got better things to do?
Well, we'll talk about that when we get started, actually, because I'm not sure. I don't think you got your priorities right.
Well, watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Well, that's probably okay.
Killing Eve was pretty good this week.
Killing Eve was good, actually. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good, nice introduction to the third series. That's one of my favourite programmes.
We watched the quiz as well.
We watched the quiz last
like
night.
It.
Did you know? Okay,
no.
Why not?
I don't know. I thought it was a bit boring. I don't know. It was just a little bit. There was something awkward about it. It felt a bit awkward.
Yeah, I thought it was a good insight to how some TV programs are made. And I thought it was good in the sense of how much effort people put into joining that type of quiz.
Well, if you're going to put effort in, you might put effort into winning £1 million.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
Just illegally.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Guilty, yeah.
He was actually he was proven guilty. So
he was. But they're trying to overturn that now, I think.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Mark and Trudy. Hello, Helen.
So surprised you can read that.
Excellent. I can just about read it.
I can't.
Yeah. Hello. So what time is it? We almost time?
So 30
30 seconds. Countdown.
No, I'm alright.
So what are the good TV programs are you watching?
We've got nothing better to talk. Yeah, maybe it's if the wine thing. Last week it was if the wine thing didn't go well, we did barbecue.
I think we could get a slot on. What's that program that does the
Gogglebox?
Gogglebox.
I think we should. Yeah, you like Gogglebox, don't you?
I don't.
Just as much as you like EastEnders.
Really
good programming.
So, Tony, what have you done? We ordered the Fraser's case for tonight, but the wines got mixed up with others. Can you please remind us which to... Oh, so right, you should be drinking the Merlot and the Cabernet Sauvignon.
You're going to get them up or not?
Well, the problem is I don't know which ones he's got because we had a bit of a challenge with with the orders. From
You're a bit
Fraser's.
challenged.
I'm always a bit challenged. Anyway, come on, enough of us rabbiting on. So, Kim likes Gogglebox. Excellent. Right. So, welcome to Birmingham Wine School. I'm Rob Price. This is Ben. It's my son. Those of you who came last week will know that Ben is a student of wine, but a very raw, novice
raw one
student of wine. So Ben, you said you didn't do your homework.
Yeah.
So
Dog ate it.
the dog ate it. I hope not, because I was going to ask you how many wines have you drunk this week then?
I think I've had any wine this week, have I?
So that's my problem, you see. So you know you're coming on this program, this show,
Is that what you're calling it now? Be careful.
and you didn't drink any wine. I mean, how can you learn if you're not drinking, tasting wine, drinking wine?
Oh, I don't know. What one? Yeah, Ribena was right.
With Ribena, okay. Yeah. So I mean, I know you're busy at university, you're studying high university, and I'm going to ask our lovely audience, what's more important?
Shannon, was it? What was it? Last week?
One person, yeah. Actually, you know what we did have? We did have 2 people last week, one from Spain and one from Sweden watching.
Oh, really?
So Katie, Spain, Charlotte, Sweden. Hello. No, we are international, not just national. We're international.
What are you on about?
And people from Spain and Sweden log into.
They're locked down as well, aren't they?
Probably they can't do anything. So anyway, so you what's more important? Learning about wine and drinking wine.
Yeah, the other option.
Or your university degree.
Well, I think it has to be the uni degree, doesn't it?
No, I think they'll find people with me.
No,
Wine or uni. I think if you put that in, let me know, because then I can prove to him that he's wasting his time trying to get a university degree, and all he could be doing is
drinking wine all
good
day.
Quality wine
Yeah,
all day.
on daddy's money.
On daddy's money. So tonight you should be tasting, or we're going to taste some Merlot, and we're going to taste some Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, if you ordered the case of wine from Fraser's, well, we made a little bit of a mistake in the sense that when we started, we didn't have any idea of how many cases Fraser's might sell. So I think they started off with 20 cases. They sold out. I put another 6 wines together in a case. That sold out. So I've actually got 3 different versions of Cabernet Sauvignon and 2 different versions of Merlot, and we'll try and take you through that. You may not have those at all. You may just have got a Merlot and Cab Sav from somewhere else. That's fine. Because what I'll really try and demonstrate tonight is the contrast between the 2 wines. And when we get into them, we'll talk a bit about Merlot and the style of wine that offers, and we'll talk a little bit about Cabernet Sauvignon as well. But Ben, what did you learn last week? So I know you haven't done homework, but can you remember what we even?
I remember one thing. I remember one word, and it was tannins.
I remember tannins. That's good, because we are going to talk about tannins tonight.
Yeah.
That's good. We talked about grapes. Wine comes from grapes. How many different grape varieties are there?
8 to 10.
8 to 10,000.
Yeah.
Well done. Yes, and we talked about how to taste wine. We talked through that, and we talked about how to keep wines fresh. If once you've opened the bottle, how you might do that. And the key thing is to protect your wine from oxygen. So just try and do that if you want to not drink all the wines tonight. Many of you, I guess, you all drank the wines last week, did you? Jolly good.
It's not live again, Dad.
Not live again.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the comments. I'm trying to read the comments, but reading the comments and talking, I'm a typical bloke. I can do one thing at a time. Can't do 2 things at a time. So, as well as the 2 wines, as well as the Merlot and Cab Sav, hopefully you've got some grape varieties. So you've got some grape varieties there. Well, not grape varieties. That's just a.
And what variety?
I have no idea
is
what
that?
those are. They are red
Tesco's
grapes.
finest.
Tesco's finest grapes. So we're going to get Ben to look at those in a bit later on, and you might have some salt as well. I've got my salt crystals here, so we're going to try some salt. And I've also got a little cheese for Ben to try. So we've got some manchego and some cheddar, which will help the red wines as well. I've got my typical large wine taste. Can you hold your glass up, Ben?
Oh, my small one.
Yeah.
And size doesn't matter. Never has.
Well, some people asked last week, why have I got the large glasses and Ben got the small glasses? Well, he's a student. He's the apprentice. Okay, when he graduates, as an incentive to as an incentive to graduate, you can graduate to the larger glasses. You see, is that good?
It sounds really fun,
So
exciting.
you can either get a first in
yeah.
TV and film production, or you can
First.
graduate to these large glasses.
Oh, yeah,
It's a tough one.
it is. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
So shall we start? Please ask questions. I've got my wine school colleagues helping me out tonight as well. So Jeff Bolton, we've got Helen, we've got Dominic, Katie, maybe even Rupert as well. So welcome, guys. So as I can't read too well, as I can't read comments, answer comments, I've asked these guys that if you ask questions and I don't get to them, they will respond in the comment section to answer any questions you've got. So I hope that's okay. We're going to start with the Merlot. So you've either bought your own. If you bought the Fraser's case, you've either got one of these,
Let's get closer, remember.
Sorry?
Let's get close,
I
remember.
have to get closer to it, and it's lagged. I can't say close. So this is the Los Caminos wine, the Merlot from Chile, and some of you may have the Las Condas, which is equally the wine from Chile as well. So I've tasted both. Actually, they taste pretty similar. They're both from the same country, of course. So they're both Merlot. So let's start off. Doesn't matter. Just pick up a glass. Let's start with the Merlot. Ben, so pick up this one for me.
Right, and you sure it's this one and they're not mixed?
Sure
they all
it's
look
that
the same to me.
They all look the same. So do a bit of swirling for me.
I learnt this last week as well.
You learned swirling last week, okay? Try and put your nose in, Ben. No, don't put your nose in, Ben. Put your nose in the wine, okay?
Oh, that's cool.
So, what do you smell? Go on, guys, help Ben out. What should he be smelling with this lovely Merlot from Chile? You smell, yeah. But red fruits or black fruits? Do you know?
Oh, I got this wrong last week. Black fruit.
I think there's some nice blackberry there. Yeah. Okay. Typically you get blackberry. I think there's some lovely plum there actually.
I can get the plum.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of cherry.
It's quite sweet smelling.
It's some ripe fruit there, isn't it? Yeah, some ripe fruit. You can get chocolate. I'm not sure I'm going picking chocolate up. Maybe a hint of coffee, but I think that's quite a nice, just easy sort of smell going to it, is it? So what else have we got? Dominic says plums. I think that's true. Yes, Veronica, I can see. I think you've done what most people have done. You've started on the wine with dinner. I thought about doing that, but I thought if I started drinking the wine with dinner,
So, like, you've had sips.
well, I've had to try it again, So, but I think I've had a glass of wine. Although to be fair, I did open the Land of Hope last night with dinner. We had a chili last night.
Oh yeah, it was good.
The chili last night, and I did have the Land of Hope. So we did drink. Catherine, my wife, and I did drink half the bottle last night. So then we thought it was very nice actually. Catherine had forgotten how nice Cabernet Sauvignon was, and so no, it is a nice grape. So this is anyway starting with Merlot. So you think we've got plums, we've got some of the blackberry, pepper. Yes, some nice spice. I think that's true as well. Excellent. We did colours last week as well, Ben. We did colours. So look at the colour against a white background. Come and do it properly. What colour is that, do you think? Can you remember the colours? So we did colours purple,
It's not purple.
ruby, garnet, tawny. And as red wines age, they go from a youthful purple colour to a more older colour, which will be sort of garnet, and you get to the brown.
It's kind of in the
tinges.
middle. It's not brown. It's not garnet. It's almost bordering purpley, but not quite.
I think ruby.
Ruby.
I think ruby is a good assessment. So I think that's
What does that
ruby.
mean?
Well, it means that it's not too old. I think these are both 2018 vintages. They look pretty similar in colour to me as well. So we smelt it. Let's get to taste it. Now this is where you practice your slurping. Well, you've practiced now. This is slurping technique. So let's do some slurping for me.
It's a really acidic wine.
I think Zoe, you're right. It has got some eucalyptus there. I think it is ruby. Thanks, Helen. Yes, indeed. Black plum and spice. Yes, indeed. So it's quite ripe. Thing that Merlot is one of our favourite grapes in the UK, and I think the reason is Merlot is quite a soft, easy wine to drink. It's got lovely body. It's got lovely alcohol. It's a fleshy sort of wine that doesn't have any harsh edges to it, and therefore it's sort of an enjoyable wine. And it can range from sort of very inexpensive wine to some of the most expensive wines in the world. If you're ever privileged enough to try La Panne or Petrus from Pomerol in Bordeaux, then these are amazing wines. I have to say, vastly overpriced. So unless you're really rich, can afford it, or someone is buying it for you, then I would be very careful about spending the thousands of pounds that you need. I think 1982 La Panne cost you about £4,000 a bottle.
Yikes!
I didn't get one of those on my
It's about
birthday,
a year and
did I?
No, you didn't. What did you get on your birthday?
No, I did get some wine, strangely.
Some Tesco. It wasn't boxed wine. That was the cake. The cake was boxed.
We didn't get a cake.
You didn't get a cake.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So Merlot is quite an easy soft wine to drink. I know that it's very popular for that. But say it can range from sort of reasonably inexpensive stuff to some of the most expensive. expensive wines in the world. So that's our Merlot. What did people think of that Merlot? Of the two, the Fraser's cases were. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, thanks. So why ask him to use his grant buy me that wine?
Afraid there's not much money left of that, Jeff. Where did you buy yours?
I think that's just
someone
responding
else?
to I think they'll have a conversation between the two. I think we'll
let
them have that
get a chat
conversation.
room. Get a chat room.
Apparently, you smell petrol.
You might need to get.
Oh, that's why I was saying. Yeah, I don't get petrol, but what you smell and what you taste in wine is very personal, so you can't be wrong. So if you smell that, that's perfectly fine. So that's our Merlot, and we'll come back to that later. Let's have a quick try with our Cabernets. So you've either got the three Cabernets. You've either got the Guggenheim.
That's a good name.
That's a great name, actually. I think that's why I bought it. Actually, some people buy wines because of the labels.
You don't know.
No, I bought it because of the name. I like the name. Yeah, it reminded me of the Guggenheim museum in New York, Manhattan. I'm pretty sure it's there.
Not been.
A long time ago. So that's the wine from Argentina. Hopefully you've noticed. Hopefully you've noticed that we have switched the camera around. So last week it was all in mirror form. So we haven't swapped places. It's just that we've got the camera hopefully pointing the right way. So when I show you
It's
these
also
labels,
a bit slanted.
Is it? Oh well. There's the Land of Hope. This is the South African
Another good
wine. So the first one was from Argentina. This one is from South Africa. Stellenbosch, a good winemaking region in South Africa. And the third one, some you may have, is a Sunny Cliff Estate. This is from Australia, and it's from, I think, Victoria, so down in the south part of Australia. So we've got those three wines to taste. I'm going to start off with the Guggenheim, which is the one on the left, Ben. Let's give it a good old swirl again.
Looks quite a lot darker, actually.
Yeah, I think the colour of these, it is darker one. I think it's still, and this one actually started even to go a little bit garnet. So those who've got the Guggenheim, I think a bit more age on there. I don't think it's that old though. What's the vintage on it? Also the vintage 2017. So and an extra year, but not that old. But what you should get with Cabernet as opposed to Merlot is it's a slightly more aromatic grape, so you should probably smell more on the nose. More black fruits normally, so you will probably find more black currant. It is more like Ribena.
Does that mean sweeter? Is typically black fruit
not
sweet?
necessarily. I think the Merlot will be softer, but so not sweeter in that sense. So stick your nose in, swirl, stick your nose in, have a sniff. See what you smell.
It definitely smells very sweet. Really sweet, in fact. Sniffing away.
Sniffing away. And let's taste it.
Tastes like wine.
Tastes like wine. I think that one, and it's typical Cab Sauv. It has more grip. There's more tannin there. Yeah, there's more acidity there.
Yeah.
So in some senses, I prefer Cabernet wines generally over Merlot because there's more grip, there's more tannin, there's more bitterness there. And one thing about Cabernet wines, they age really well. So if you're looking to put wines down, lay them down even for investment purposes or just let them down to keep, Cabernet wines sort of age really well, and they sort of acquire some really lovely aromas and flavours as they age. You can get tobacco or cigar box, pencil shavings, which are quite strange aromas to have in wine.
You had a cigar, didn't you?
Shh, don't mention that. I was hoping you wouldn't mention that.
Why not?
Anyway, so this is moving on swiftly. This is the Land of Hope one. So again, I think looks slightly younger. Let me just check the vintage.
Yeah, a bit more red.
Oh my goodness, it's 2013 actually, so it's actually quite a bit older, which is probably why I liked it last night. Actually, I do like old things.
Waving to mum, is that?
You said that. She'll be downstairs. She'll be coming downstairs. I'm glad you said that. Anyway, so let's smell this one.
Wait till you hear the lag and mum screams upstairs.
That's lovely and soft, isn't it? But it's got again, feel the tannin. Can you feel more tannins?
Yeah, that's really
on the gum. So more black fruits. And if you just try the Sunnycliff one, this was a mistake me having to try all three.
That one's definitely younger. Have I at least cracked the code? Yeah.
It is the youngest one. But again, typical Cab Sauv, much more tannin, much more grip, more body there. And what I wanted to sort of compare, because hopefully you've only got one wine, you're not drinking as many as I am. The Merlot with the Cab Sauv. So that, the Merlot is more. You've also got to talk about climate. The climate where these grapes are grown makes an important difference. So if you're drinking Merlot from a reasonably warm climate like Chile, then the red fruits tend to get to replace more with the black fruits, but still blackberry, black plum, black cherry. Whereas your Cabernet Sauvignon is more your black currant, maybe eucalyptus, sort of licorice. It'll have more alcohol probably as well. So I think they are quite different in style, and which you prefer is really down to personal choice, of course. So let me know, out of the two you tasted, who preferred the Merlot, who preferred the Cabernet.
Tell you what they could do, if they press a certain react button. So if people preferred what was the first one?
Oh, you want to do it this way? Okay.
They could do it, because then you could see the things come up.
Okay. So if you like the Merlot, press the thumbs up button now.
But then you say the other one as well. And if you preferred the...
Oh, sorry. So if you so thumbs up button if you like the Merlot, the heart button if you like the Cabernet. Is that right?
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
Okay. So while we're waiting for these good folks to either press thumbs up for Merlot, heart for Cabernet. I think the Merlot is winning at the moment. Did we get a count? Oh no, Cab Sauv's on the... it's had a run of Cab Sauvs. Okay.
It's quite entertaining. I could watch this all day.
Yeah, okay.
It's a bit mixed.
Did we get a final count though?
No.
Oh, okay. So we're just guessing as they go up. Oh, that's a good run.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Cab Sauv is going to the lead, I think. Come on, Merlot fans. That's right. You're watching us.
Small goggle boxes.
Is that okay? Right. So what I want to do now is hopefully you if you manage to get some grapes, Ben, you're going to show these people what to do. So get 2 grapes. Just take 2 grapes for me. You have to show them. So take 2 grapes for me. And if you've got grapes at home, can you do this as well? So take 2 grapes. Okay, Ben, put 1 grape down. Okay. I want you to take the skin off one of the grapes. So just peel the grape for me. Okay. So just peel the grapes off one of the peel the skin off one of the grapes for me, please. Just want to demonstrate. I'm going to give a quick lesson on how to make wine as well. I'm with you, Gary. I think Cab Sauv is much better, but I think we have a split, Kelly. 1 Merlot, 1 Cab. That's good.
We're nearly there. We've nearly got it.
So if you're peeling the grape, then you need a black or red grape ideally for this. Then once you've got, and if you I didn't tell you to get napkins or a sort of a piece of kitchen roll, did I? But if you're doing it on a napkin or kitchen roll, as I have earlier, then you should notice that the colour is in the skin. So if you look down at your napkin, you should be able to see the colours in the skin. Whereas if hold the grape up to the camera, Ben, because the problem is with a lag, I can't see what you're doing really well. But with a skin off, then you can see the grape is now green. So if you want to make white wine, you can actually make white wine from black grapes, because when very good, I can now see you holding the grape up.
Good, isn't it? It's good.
Yeah. So when you if you want to make white wine, you can make white wine from black grapes, because they don't use the skins when they're making white wine. So they basically take the grapes, they'll crush them, press the juice out, and ferment only the juice. And that means that with white wines, you don't tend to get tannin, and of course you don't get...
So they don't peel the grapes? They just crush them and then just discard the...
It would take lots of people, wouldn't it?
Well, that's what I was thinking. So they just crush them?
They crush them, so they crush them and press the juice out. The juice then runs out clear, and then they ferment only the juice. So if you want to make white wine, you can do that with some black grapes. And in fact, if you think of the 3 main grapes in Champagne, which are... we haven't got to that bit. So in Champagne, the 3 main grapes, one is Chardonnay, which is fine because Chardonnay is a green grape. The other two are Pinot Noir and Meunier. Pinot Noir and Meunier are both black grapes, and therefore, but most Champagne is white, of course. So by just pressing the juice out,
you get red champagne.
you get rosé champagne. Yeah. In fact, Champagne is the only region in Europe where they're allowed to make a rosé wine by simply adding red wine to white wine to colour it. So it's a blending process.
All right.
So normally, the way in which you make wine, if you want to make white wines, you don't use the skins. If you want to make red wine, you use the skins. So what you do with red wines, you still crush them to release the juice, but you ferment everything together. And of course, with the skin, then the skin gives the wine both the colour and the tannin. So now, Ben, eat the skin for me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So guys at home, eat the skin for me. What do you get in the skin? What does the skin taste like? Is it? I'm going to put words in your mouth. Dry?
Yeah, dry.
Bitter?
Oh, I was going to say that. Yeah. No, yeah. Well,
Daniel, if you're watching, there's a spot next week going.
Fine with me. Good luck.
Exactly. So,
it tastes a lot like red wine when you.
But it's the skin. I was thinking that's what the skin is. The skin is really where the tannin comes from. So if you eat the skin by itself, you should get dryness. You should get bitterness, and that comes from the skin. Not really acidic. No, this is going to come from inside the grape. Okay. So now eat the grape you've peeled. So by eating now just the inside the grapes, eat the grape after you've hit the skin. Eat the grape you peeled. So you now should get. What do you get now with the grape you peeled? Grape. Tasting sweet. Good. What does the sugar? What does the sugar go to when you ferment? When you ferment sugar, and you start with grape juice. And you go through a fermentation process. What they convert sugar to
alcohol.
Well,
I do a film degree. We don't have to do this.
We don't do. So inside the grape, you've got sugar. The sugar gets converted to alcohol, and you get lots of water and lots of acidity. Yep. So it's refreshing, hopefully. Is that true? Okay. Right. Now the grape you've got left. You peeled a grape off. So eat the grape you've got left. So eat the grape. Tell me what you get now. Hope you're doing this at home. Are you doing this at home? I can't tell.
Well, initially it's sweet, and then you're getting. I'm spouting. What's it called? But then it's a bit more. You get the tannin later.
You get both through this. It's a blend, isn't it? So you got the lovely acidity of the grape, the sweetness of the grape, which is alcohol in wine, and also then of course you get the tannin and the bitterness come through to balance the sweetness and acidity. And that's all wine is. So all you're doing with red wine is effectively doing that. Obviously, as wines mature, the fermentation process adds flavour, and as wines mature, it adds further flavours as well.
So I completed wine now. I know how to make it. I don't need to know anymore.
That's it. You've qualified.
I've got my diploma.
Your diploma.
My WSET level 3.
If it's that simple. Jeff asked, good question, Jeff. Jeff asked, why do they blend Merlot with Cab Sauv? Quite simply that they work well together, because Cabernet Sauvignon is a little more austere, more tannic, more bitter. Merlot is softer. It brings body, it brings alcohol. So by blending together, you get the good bits of both. So the reason why a lot of wines are blended in many regions, in many parts of the world, is that they want to take the good bits from different grape varieties and either add tannin or add colour, add fruit, add body, and that enables them to sort of produce a wine that either meets their brand style, because if you're a new world producer and producing 1 million+ bottles of wine a year, you have to produce a consistent style. So the wine, I think Ben mentioned last week, although there was some debate whether there's really wines, the wine you mentioned last week was...
I have no clue. Oh, Echo Falls.
I was going to say.
But Lambrini, we forgot to talk about Lambrini. Another great bottle.
You know what? I've never tasted Lambrini.
£1.89.
Is it?
Yeah. I think. Pardon? What year?
So what is Lambrini then? Is it just?
It's a good night out.
It's a good night out. Okay. So the reason why branded wines are popular is they taste the same and they're reasonably cheap, but they get consistency. They can blend and create consistency. So winemakers do that for brand, and a lot of Bordeaux winemakers will do it because Bordeaux they will blend Merlot and Cab Sauv, so they can sort of ensure that there's a consistency. They can produce a wine year. Some years Merlot might be better, some years Cab Sauv might be better, and by blending them enables them to create a wine and to maintain the high standards of that particular chateau in terms of what they're trying to do. People are talking about wine from Coonawarra. I have to agree. Wine, I think, do love Coonawarra. Coonawarra is a region in South Australia. It has a red terracotta soil, which we think adds a little bit of something extra. Eucalyptus. Some people think that because the eucalyptus trees are close, then eucalyptus somehow gets into the wine. Well, I was reading a book Oz Clarke wrote the other day, and he said, well, while people think that might be true of eucalyptus, they don't tend to what's the word? Make the point if the vineyard is next to a motorway or road that the traffic fumes get infused into the grapes. So I'm not sure about that, but we'll take it that Coonawarra wines are great, and we'll take it that they do smell and taste of eucalyptus as well.
He's broken. He's thinking.
I'm thinking, why is Merlot less tannic? Largely because of the grape, Dominic. So the Cabernet Sauvignon grape has thicker skins. Thicker skins tend to give you more colour and more tannin. They also need more warmth, more heat to ripen. So again, with less heat, the tannins tend to be chalkier. So you'll tend to notice those more. Merlot is the thinner skins, therefore they're sort of softer tannins, and Merlot ripens better than Cab Sav. So we've done the grape.
Done the grape.
So hopefully you've all done that. Hopefully you all saw where colour and tannin come from. So colour and tannin from the skin, acidity, sweetness, and the bulk of the water comes from inside the grape. I also bought for you, Ben, some salt crystals.
What's a birthday present?
So if you've got some salt, I've just got some lovely crystals here. It can be normal table salt, but I just want to try something with you. We're gonna try this on the Cab Sav. Some people find red wines too tannic, too bitter, and therefore will prefer rosé wine, it has less tannin, or prefer white wines with no tannin at all. So I'm going to sprinkle a few crystals on your plate. So
you're not going to do this as well?
I've done this many times.
Okay.
So, and I can't talk and suck on crystals. So just put a few crystals front of your tongue. So if you, again, I want you to do this at home, but a few crystals front of your tongue, and let the salt crystals dissolve.
Salty.
So while you're doing that, and then I want you to just pick up your Cabernet Sauvignon wine and the one on the left, any one on the left, one of those will do. Has it dissolved? No, let it dissolve. Okay.
Oh, that's
salty.
I feel like I've been in the sea.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have got too much.
Okay. You do that and I'll read. Adam prefers the Merlot. Cab Sav too acidic. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you're not into acidic wines.
I'm just going to take it out because that's salty enough. Yeah.
Okay. So, try the Cab Sav again. Do you notice any difference now?
Yeah, it's not as like, well, I'm going to say strong, but that's not the right word.
Not as tannic or bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what salt does, salt for all red wines will just reduce the bitterness and the astringency.
Why is that?
Because it's salt just has a property where it just makes wines taste softer. Okay. So the reason why a lot of wines work better with food is that the acidity in the food, the salt in food, just softens wines. And wines from Europe, so French, Italian, Spanish wines, they tend to be a little more tannic, a little more acidic, and European foods generally have high acidity and certain foods have a reasonable degree of salt content. A lot of meats have salt, and that just takes away some of the bitterness and astringency.
Yeah, I prefer that.
Wines. So that's why a lot of wines. I mean, as you do know, most. I mean, we only drink wine at home with food because the food makes, I think, an important difference with wine. It would still work on the Merlot, but less so because the Merlot is softer anyway.
Yeah.
So hopefully you do that at home. Does that make sense? Did anyone do the salt thing? Better, Paul? Yeah, it is better after the salt. So I mean, obviously we don't recommend that you just eat raw salt all the time, but meats tend to be salty. Cheddar cheese can be quite salty, and that is that salt that just helps sort of improve how red wines taste. Jeff's telling me to speak up again. Has he not got the
Jeff,
hearing?
you need to get a speaker. You need to get a...
We'll send him a speaker.
But do speak up. We probably are being a bit quiet.
Probably. So, hopefully that works. Good. Hello, Tony. Hope you're keeping well. So anyway, so we've done the salt, we've done the grapes. Of course, we also bought some cheese. I hope you bought some cheese with you.
Did you tell him to bring cheese?
Well, I did. Well, maybe. Who knows? So I bought some manchego. Not you can particularly tell that's manchego, but I got some manchego there and some cheddar. So Ben, try a piece of cheddar or manchego with either of those wines again.
I've been watched. Okay. Do I eat it and then?
Just eat the cheddar and then I will join it. I like. I'm going to try some manchego.
Like cheese? I do. We get some biscuits for next time.
Oh, you want biscuits as well?
Mm-hmm.
Though I didn't have an open package. I didn't think you were worth.
That's typical, isn't it? It's typical. If Hannah asked for it, you'd do it. Yeah, it's a very similar thing. I mean, I probably had the wrong wine for it,
but it makes it
softer.
It just improves how the wine tastes. So we will do, I think, food and wine pairing.
I see why people do wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese.
That makes sense now.
Well, we do. I think it's always worth having a little bit of cheese to go with the wines as well.
Really.
With everything, really. That's true. So hopefully that's the one you'd like the ones. Have you all been tasting all the different wines? Oh, you only got 2 to taste, haven't you?
Stop bragging.
Stop bragging. I know. So somehow I've got to work. Well, we've got the weekend to come up, haven't we? I thought the idea of doing this on Thursday would be that
you know, have a long weekend. Booze up.
To sort of taste these wines over an extended period of time. So any questions? Let me say any questions. Let me see if we've got any questions. Katie's helping me out. Thanks, Katie. So is Helen and Jeff.
I think you need to bring that tablet closer. There is no way that you can read that.
I can sort of read it. I need better glasses, I think.
I think I can't read it.
Can't you?
No.
But I've got glasses on.
What?
Anyway, so if you are thinking about these wines, then let me tell you a bit about where. So we've got these wines from the New World, and the New World countries tend to be slightly warmer. They'll have a warmer climate than most European countries, and therefore climate makes an important difference to how wines taste. If wines come from warmer climates, will give you more sugar, therefore more alcohol. So New World wines tend to be more alcoholic. It'll give you more fruit, and again, why people prefer New World wines generally is that the fruit content is higher. People can taste more. The acidity is lower, so with warm climates you get more of everything. So you get more sugar, more body, more alcohol, except acidity. So the acidity tends to fall somewhat, and therefore again people have a sort of people don't like acidity as much, and therefore New World wines tend to be more favoured, certainly in the UK. Because if you're going to drink wine without food, I mean, so these are all New World. If you're going to drink wine without food, then New World wines generally work better. If you want to drink a Cab Sav and a Merlot from Europe, then I guess the classic place is Bordeaux. So Bordeaux in the southwest of France has a moderate climate, and we sometimes talk about the left bank of Bordeaux. Left bank of Bordeaux is where the Cabernet Sauvignon grape thrives really well. The right bank of Bordeaux, so on the other side of the river and the estuary, we've got regions like Saint-Emilion and Pomerol, where Merlot dominates. And while it's slightly warmer from a climate perspective, the soil, it's how important soil can be. The soil in Saint-Emilion and Pomerol is more clay soil. It's much more damp, wet, cold soil. And Cabernet Sauvignon won't ripen over there. So therefore, they can't plant it. Well, they can plant it, but not worth planting it because the grapes just don't ripen. We're right on the edge of being able to ripen Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. So you can understand how not only soil but aspect can make an important difference. And if you're drinking Bordeaux, they are really designed to go with food. So think about thinking about having a sort of a red meat based dish. You could think about some stews. You could think you want some hearty food really to go with your Cabernet Sauvignon and your Merlots.
And then it asks about chocolate.
Chocolate.
Chocolate with wine.
We should do chocolate and wine. If we do chocolate and wine, but chocolate really is good. I mean, I love all chocolate and all wine, and therefore for me they all work pretty well together. But of course, white chocolate and milk chocolate probably don't work as well, although I think they do. But darker chocolates, with 65% cocoa or even higher tend to work better with red wines. But I think again it's what you like. But chocolate and wine I think works really well together. Of course, you can try some sweeter red wines like port.
Ooh.
You're not keen on port?
No, it's too sweet. We've had it before.
When did you try port then?
Well, the cabinet was open. I
just tried something. Okay.
No, I think it was Christmas and it was just very sweet. Too sweet.
Too sweet. Okay. And it's fortified.
Oh, that's the fortified one.
Yeah. Yes.
I know these words. See?
You don't know what they mean, but you know
I have no clue.
Fortified with more alcohol. So port is a fortified, strong 20% alcohol. So how are you doing with the wines? Oh, I think Alan said the Cab Sav's going down well. Nearly finished the bottle. Merlot hardly touched. Come on, Alan. I mean, it's not that bad, is it? You can and sweet tannin. I was really responding to thank you to Tony. Excellent. So we've talked about the two wines. I hope they're going well. We talked about how to make wine. Did any of you hopefully did think they all bought a vineyard? I keep saying that. A vine to plant in their garden. We
haven't bought one.
We can't go out yet.
How do you expect them? B&Q, it's all closed, isn't it?
B&Q's open, isn't it?
Is it?
Is B&Q open? I think B&Q's open.
Should we get them to do the like thing again? If you think B&Q's open, no.
Garden centres are closed, but do you think B&Q sell? So two questions: is B&Q open? Is B&Q sell vines?
Probably. I say no to both those answers.
No.
I see.
Okay. Yeah. Oh well, we'll find out soon enough. So what we're going to do is just talk about. We talked about temperatures. So
click and collect only, by the way. Click and collect. There we are.
Is it? Oh, thanks, Tony.
So.
Okay. But could you get search for them? Do they sell vines? Maybe we could click on that. Click and collect a vine. Maybe we should all have that as a sort of something to do.
Or maybe there's a gap in the market and you could set it up.
Sell some vines. Yeah. Probably. Okay.
Alongside the barbecue business.
Gouda and Cabernet, that would work well indeed. Yes. Dave has two vines in our garden. Okay. Kim, that's good. Does he make wine with them?
Did Uncle Ray make wine, or was it cider?
No, he made wine. Yeah, no. I think when we went to Rachel's wedding.
Not everyone's going to know this before we shouldn't.
Oh, sorry, no, we're going to family stuff. But Uncle Ray makes wine, and it was really nice at one of his daughters, 5 daughters, one of his daughters' weddings, and we tasted wine there. It's very good. So he does make wine. Yeah. He does.
Slacking, you're not.
Slacking, I'm not. No, indeed. We're going to just talk a little about what we're going to do in coming up. Okay, so next week we're going to try 2 Chardonnays. If you've got the Fraser's ones, I haven't got as many to try next week, so we didn't run out of stock as much. So next week 2 Chardonnays, please. The important thing is on one of them oaked and one of them unoaked. I just want to talk about what oak does with wine. So one of them oaked, one unoaked. They can be French, they can be New World. I'm not sure that really matters, but if you get one oaked, one unoaked, that would be good. The week after that, so that's next week. That's 24th of April. Week after that, we're going to try Syrah and Shiraz. Same grape, as most of you will probably know, but we're just going to see how the 2 styles compare again. So Syrah largely from cooler climates like France, so maybe Northern Rhone. I think the one we've got is from New Zealand, which is a sort of a reasonably coolish climate, and then a Shiraz. And Shiraz tends to be from warmer climates like Australia, and there we're about to see, I think, compare the difference. So next week 2 Chardonnays, the 30th of April Shiraz, and I am planning further events. So I'm just looking at further events, and I'm just trying to make sure that Fraser's have the stock in place so we can all just buy and taste the same wine. So we're just working on that at the moment. So hopefully, if you continue to watch and enjoy them, we will plan further sessions. I am also working on an event where we're going to try some really top end Burgundy, some 3 Pinot Noirs, 3 Chardonnays that are a few of them will be Premier Cru, some of the better wines from Burgundy, and we're going to do that using Zoom. So not Facebook. We're going to do. I am going to ask you for some money for that event. So I'm going to charge £45 for 3 evenings, and it's per session. So it doesn't matter whether there are 2 people watching, 10 people watching, as long as you're in the same household on the same tablet. We're going to try some top end Burgundy, and it's a £45 for the 3 sessions. And I've selected 6 really stunning wines from Fraser's, where we can all taste those together. It's on Zoom, so it's going to be limited to 20 people, and we'll be able to interact. We'll be able to talk to each other and do a proper tasting. And I want to take you through the history of Burgundy, its wines, its people, sort of have an in-depth sort of discovery sort of about Burgundy. So I'll be doing that. Jeff said he'll help me as well, so Jeff and I will be doing some those 3 sessions on Burgundy. I think that's going to start on the 12th of May. So the 12th, 19th, 26th of May. They're Tuesday evenings to give you a night off in between Tuesdays and Thursdays, in case you want to do both. And the Tuesday event will start at 7:30 p.m.
The real question is, what background are you going to use for Zoom?
Oh, Zoom will. I'll do that in my office. You see.
Yeah, but you're going to have a cool background.
Do I? You have to make one for me then.
We could do but you have to find one from a funny background. So I've seen them. You know the presenter where his kid walks in, he's talking about South Korea. That's a really good background. There's someone has screenshotted and taken away the guy, so you can be sitting in the office. So it looks like you're in that interview, or you could have the Modern Family set. You like Modern Family, or Frasier?
Ah, I love Frasier.
Yeah. So you could have the Frasier set in the background.
Okay, you've got to sit
look into it. Yeah.
No.
And everyone else can have different backgrounds as well.
Okay. Anyway, so if you ever use Zoom, it's just an interactive way of talking to each other. So hopefully we can get those wines in front of us. We can discuss them and have a good chat about Burgundy and all things Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So it's on the website. If you're interested, go and have a look. I'll be publicising it in the newsletter next week as well.
Someone asked, what food for next week?
Good question. I haven't thought about food for next week. So 2 Chardonnays. You could try some softer cheese, perhaps some smoky cheese. So we could try that. So maybe some Camembert, something like that. Some Rebauchon, I think always works quite nicely. Wine school guys, what else could we try for Chardonnay next week? I'm looking for help.
Remember, there's a lag. So we need to talk about something else until someone helps you out.
Helps me out. Okay, that's true. So
chocolate in general is always a good idea for any tasting.
Chocolate in general.
Yeah. Ooh, they could have
no, we do chocolate with a Shiraz on the
last
night of this session. Couldn't we? So we'll get some. We've got our green and black chocolate, so I could match them green and black.
Yeah.
Do have lots of them. Because my tasting, I doubt we're going to run my chocolate and wine tasting in Warwick, given the current sad state of affairs we're in. So anyway,
there's one good thing. Is we get a lot.
We do have lots of chocolate. That's true. Brie, Richard, you are correct. Brie would work well. Spider crab. Is that cheese?
I think that's something you find behind the couch, isn't it?
Okay. I don't know. I haven't heard of that one. Alan, obviously Tesco's, I think you're going to have to look at the back label. If you see words, so if you see, you might use the word oak. It should say oak, slightly oaked, lightly oaked. It might use the word barrel. If you see flavours like vanilla or coconut or cedar, any of those flavours, that means it's oaked as well. So anything like that will give you a hint. But I think if you look at the back label, then there'll be some oak there. If you're going to go expensive and go Burgundy, Chablis is generally unoaked, unless you're going to the top end again, unless you want to go Grand Cru. That's a bit extravagant. So most Premier Cru, normal Chablis is unoaked. Come down into Burgundy, come down to the heartland of Burgundy, so the Beaune area. Come all the way down to Côte Chalonnaise, Puy-Fouze. You get a Puy-Fouze. Puy-Fouze always tend to be oaked. So if you want to buy one of those, and they are fantastic wines, but again, reasonably expensive. But if you're in Tesco's or supermarket, look at the Australian versions of Chardonnay, and they tend to put it on. They tend to either put unoaked or oaked on it to give you an idea of style. So you should be able to find Baby Bell. name. I think excellent. That could work well as well. Paul, Merlot much better with food. I think yes, that's true. Oh, Helen, smoked applewood, Shropshire Blue. Okay, I think that's true. That would work really well as well. Excellent. Okay. Cheese string.
Yeah.
Ben would like that. Yeah, that's true. So
Cheese
can't
string,
beat
good.
it. Olives and tomatoes. I think you're right. We could get some other food as well going. Stringy cheese. Yeah, why not? Yeah, of course that would work well. Dark horse cheddar. I do like a good dark horse cheddar.
Was I meant to do this?
Yeah, you're late.
So the one scripted thing. Well, not scripted. Not scripted. I was joking. Not scripted at all.
You just can't get the staff nowadays, can you? Really? So if hiding your face now. So if you do like what Ben is doing and you feel inclined, we do have TripAdvisor and Google account where if you could write a lovely review for Ben and maybe me.
Ben, God, carry on.
You did have 3 proposals of marriage last week, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
So there you go.
Very good.
I know. So certain young ladies were offering you their hand. Exciting. So it'd be great if you could do a TripAdvisor or Google review. That would be really excellent. Veronica, prawns. Yeah, prawns. I guess I do like a good prawn though, so that would work. Yeah. Okay. Still talking about spider crab. I still have to look. Can you Google spider crab?
Google spider crab.
And did you like the backdrop as well? We have a lovely backdrop. Helen suggested a backdrop, so that we've put a little backdrop in place. So guys, I'm going to draw this to an end.
Spider crab's a crab. It's an actual crab. It's not cheese.
Oh, it's not cheese. That's why I'm getting confused. It's just crab. Okay, crab would. It's seafood. That would work. Sorry, it's just shows how stupid I am. Yeah. Mixed fish. There's an in joke as well. So guys, thank you for attending tonight. Thanks for sort of joining.
How was your birthday? How was your birthday?
Who's asking that?
I don't know. I can't read it from here.
My birthday was fine. Yes, no, it was a lovely sunny day.
Fine.
It was a lovely sunny
day.
Best
birthday ever.
Wasn't.
Okay. What was the best birthday you've ever had?
With Mom, of course.
Yeah. Good.
But no, it was a good birthday because it was nice. It's sunny outside. So it was a nice, relaxing day, and we did some nice barbecue food, had some nice wines, and you and Mom bought me some XO rum as well, which was pretty daunting. So by the end of the evening, I was a little worse for wear. That is true. So guys, thank you. So next week 2 Chardonnays. Week after that, a Shiraz and a Shiraz. Check out the Burgundy session if you can join me on that. It'll be a different format, 20 people max, so we can make it more interactive. And hopefully we'll see you then. So take care. It's a good night from me.
I've forgotten the line. That's a good night from him. It's a good night from him.
Let's practice, okay?
Try again.
It's a good night from me.
It's a good night from him. And one time for good luck.
No, 2's enough. They'll get
it's a good night from me.
Turn it off. Thanks, guys. Be good. Take care.
Finish.